Hello, and thank you for joining us for Managing Your Money, a virtual program of the Allen County Public Library. My name is Tom from Work One, and I will be the host for today's program. Our co-host is Nancy, a librarian at the Allen County Public Library.
Hello, everyone. Today's program is being recorded. In order to improve the quality of everyone's listening experience, your microphones have been muted. If you have a question or comment, please use the chat function at the bottom of your screen, and we will get to those questions at the end of the presentation. I'm going to start the recording now, and Tom, you can take it away.
Thank you, Nancy. Our program today is called Managing Your Money, Simple Steps to Financial Hope. This program is presented in partnership between the Allen County Public Library and Work One Northeast. All Work One programs are equal opportunity programs. Auxiliary aids are available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Here is our agenda for today. First, we'll take a look at budget review, preparation, and use, expense reductions, discounts, freebies, and alternatives, personal finances, and finally, helpful resources. There are many reasons to change your lifestyle, especially when it comes to finances. Here's a list of few reasons as to why we may change our lifestyle. There could be a loss of a family member's income or our own income. We could be saving for a house, vacation, retirement, or some other large purchase. We could be looking to pay off school loans. There could be those expected expenses as well as the unexpected expenses. We can also have that desire where we want to live debt-free. The next couple of slides are going to review this question, answer this question, why is it important to make a budget? First reason that we have here is that it gives us control over our money. It provides us that way of being intentional with where we spend our money and how we save our money. And by being intentional, it helps us to organize our spending and our savings. In addition to organizing our spending and savings, it will help us save for those expected as well as those unexpected costs. Other important reasons to make a budget: it will enable us to talk about money with our family. So this is a good practice so that as your children grow, they will have a firm understanding of what it means to be financially aware. It is also important to make a budget because it provides us an early warning for potential problems. If we see that our current budget does not allow for our current standard of living, we want to reevaluate our budget. That way we can be prepared for any sort of potential problem. Having a budget also allows us to determine if we can take on debt. The next couple of slides that we see are going to discuss the best practices for budget making. Our first method is the zero-based method. And in our zero-based method for our budget, we analyze and document every source of income. So that is our regular source of income, those intermittent sources of income, such as taking on seasonal work or a side job. And then, of course, that yearly income, such as work bonuses, tax returns, or financial gifts. In addition to analyzing our source of income, a zero-based budget also analyzes and documents our expenses. So we are able to document our weekly, monthly, yearly bills, such as our housing payments, utilities, phone payments. We're also able to document our extracurricular expenses. So when we want to visit a sporting event, if we want to go watch a movie, we're able to document those expenses. And then also document gifts, such as those holidays where we like to exchange gifts with others, as well as birthdays. In following the zero-based method, we divide our bills into separate paydays. Our next method is the envelope method. This is the Dave Ramsey method. Within this method, we analyze our income and our expenses the same way as we reviewed within the last method. Here, we are prioritizing our expenses by our need. We list how much and who will pay each bill. What we do is we get an envelope for each bill and we label it. We list the priority number on the envelope. We put money in those envelopes each time that we are paid. The value of the Dave Ramsey method is that we learn what is a priority and what is not, and we do not use it for any other reason. So here's an example of the Dave Ramsey method. As you see with envelope number 1, we have that in our upper left-hand corner looking at the envelope. This is our mortgage payment. So we're going to be paying to ABC Mortgage Company. This bill is due on the 5th. The bill is $555.55. And for each deposit we make into this envelope, we want to be making $139 on a weekly basis. So once that money goes in, once that cash goes into that envelope, we do not take it out until we're ready to pay that bill. Our second example is the electric bill. And this bill is going to be paid to City Electric Company. We see in the upper left-hand corner that this is our second priority. Our upper right-hand corner, we're looking at the bill being due on the 10th. The bill is going to be $200. And we're looking at depositing $50 on a weekly basis. Our third method is the 50-30-20 method. With this particular method, we start with our net income. And by starting with our net income, we want to focus on our goals. So as we divide our income into these different percentages, we're focusing on what our basic needs are. So the majority of our income, 50%, is going to be going to our basic needs. We want to save 30% for our wants, and then 20% for any kind of contingency plan, debt liquidation, or possibly even savings. So within that 50% of our basic expenses, we're looking at things such as a housing payment, transportation, insurance costs, childcare, elder care, and the purchase of food. So that 30% for our wants can be going on vacation. It can be buying particular clothing. It can even include entertainment. Not only entertainment as in going out to the movies or going to athletic events, but also looking at internet purchasing as well as internet streaming. That final 20% for debt liquidation and savings, there are different types of savings that we can be aware of. One savings could be the 401k, 403b deductions. We might be saving for retirement, or we might even be looking at a stock purchase plan. In this particular method, 100% of our income is being categorized in those three different areas, such as the basic expenses, our wants, and then our contingency plan. So how are these three budget methods alike? Well, first, they track all income for the entire year. They track all expenses for the entire year. All members of the household who spend money participate in the budget making. The overall goal is to have your income either equal or be greater than your expenses. The underlying factor within these different budgeting methods is that we do not buy something if we do not have the money for it. This slide is an example of our sample monthly budget. It is something that can be found within the handout that is provided. Within this sample budget, it is a great way to start looking at where your income is and where your expenses are. It is also a great conversation starter for every member who is participating within the budget making process. This slide represents the 2019 annual spending. It's broken down into different categories, and the data that is presented here in this chart is coming from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This data is not representative of Northeast Indiana. It is a representation of the state. So as we see within this graph, housing takes up 32, almost 33% of our spending. Transportation, 17%. Food is almost 13% of our spending. Personal insurance and pensions is approximately 12%. Healthcare is about 8%. And then apparel and additional services makes up 3%. So what are some options when it comes to managing our budget? These items will be discussed within the next couple of slides. So some options are to increase our income. We can always liquidate, which is the selling or disposing of unnecessary things. We can reduce costs and expenses within housing, utilities, cable, internet, entertainment, food, phone bills, clothing, transportation, and personal wants. Again, the upcoming slides are going to talk about each of these different options. So our first one, increasing income. If we are currently unemployed, finding employment is going to increase our income. If we need to, we can find new employment at a new company. We can also apply for promotions with our current employer. An additional option is to find a second job. This second job could be part-time work. It could be working during the weekends if your schedule allows for it. It could be working just during holiday seasons or possibly just during the summer months. There are options out there when it comes to increasing our income. Our next option for managing our budget is liquidation. Consider if you have multiple vehicles, is it possible to downsize? If you're living in a house where you have extra space, you may want to consider downsizing. You can also even consider selling off those big toys that you may have, but do not have the opportunity to use, such as a boat or an ATV. You can also participate within garage sales or rummage sales. Another option would be to see about lowering your tax deductions if your spouse is working and you have received a large tax refund. Or you can see about suspending your spouse's 401k deduction during this time of unemployment. Another option when it comes to managing our budget is to review the different banking accounts that are available. Be aware of banking fees that your bank might be asking for. Be aware that there are some banks that offer free checking and savings accounts. Check the ATM fees. Fees can range from $1 to $5 per transaction. Consider the difference between depositing checks versus cashing them. Most people have the tendency to spend less money when we don't have cash on our possession. Use direct deposit if possible. Most employers here in Northeast Indiana are making use of this option. You can also separate your deposits into 2 or more accounts. One account can be your checking account, and then another one or 2 could be savings accounts. Those savings accounts could be a 529, which is a special type of savings account for the cost of college, and this is a tax-free account. Or if you're saving up for a special vacation, or if you're saving up for special gifts. Another option for managing our budget is looking at credit cards. Make sure you research all aspects of the credit card before utilizing it. What are the interest rates? What kind of reward program does the credit card offer? Inquire about charge accounts at local stores. There might be discounts if you pay on time each month. And if you do use credit, make sure you pay it off as soon as possible. By doing so, you'll be avoiding interest and late fees. And above all else, constantly monitor your credit score. Another option for managing our budget deals with housing, especially with renting. If we're renting, is it possible to rent a smaller house? Can we downsize? Or can we possibly sublet? Is it possible to move in with family or friends? In talking with your landlord, will that individual give you a temporary reduction or subsidized rent during this time of unemployment? Have you checked resources for rental assistance? Have you reevaluated your renter's insurance? Can you possibly barter repair work for exchange in rent reduction? If we're looking to buy a house, check on property tax deductions and reductions. Mortgage exemptions and homestead exemptions are 2 examples. Investigate a possible lower interest rate or payment without costs. Pay your payment on time to avoid additional charges. Talk to your lender about reduced payments. Review your homeowner's insurance plan. Downsize to a smaller home. Rent out extra bedroom, or if you have room above the garage, rent out your garage space. Reviewing our utilities is another way in which we can manage our budget. During our time of unemployment, advise your provider of this situation and ask for some assistance. We can always budget our electric bill before the summer. We can budget our gas bill before the fall. United Way is a great resource and they may be able to assist. We can see about turning the heat down and close the doors to those rooms that are not being used. If nobody is in the room, make sure the lights are turned off. If nobody is watching TV, have the TV turned off. Unplug any unused appliances. And you can visit Energize Indiana. It is a useful website where they offer rebates for appliances, and they can provide a free audit of your energy and water usage and provide examples of ways to save. There are also options for food budgeting. At the start of each week, plan your meals for that week based on the current foods you have, as well as for foods that are on sale that week. Plan to use leftovers from day 1 into day 2. So for example, if you have mashed potatoes one night, you can use any leftovers to make potato cakes the next day. Make a grocery list and stick to it. Make coffee at home to take with you. You can recycle food rather than throwing it out. For example, if you have bread that is getting stale, use it to make French toast. If you have bananas that are getting really ripe, use those bananas to make banana bread, or cut them up and freeze them to make ice cream. You can also freeze fruit to use as ice cubes, so that will help you to make flavored water. A few tips for shopping. First off, avoid binge shopping or hunger shopping or going shopping at mealtime or taking children with you. Avoid over driving to save on gas. Avoid those quick trips every day because those small trips do add up. Be cautious about buying just because you have a coupon. It is suggested that you buy larger packages of meat and cheese and then divide them into smaller containers when you get home. Freeze what you know you won't eat during that week. Check the sell by and use by dates. Buy discounted meat that has a use by date of a current date or next if you'll be using it the same day. More tips for grocery shopping. Avoid serving size portions. So you want to buy larger and then divide them up yourself. Buy produce on sale and either can it or freeze it. Stock up during those deep discount periods. Compare the prices on organic and non-organic items. Try buying store brand foods. Some stores do sell dented cans or imperfect looking foods at a discount. And of course, you can always buy some items in bulk, such as toilet paper, paper towels, and hygiene products. When it comes to food storage and waste, check your refrigerator and freezer to make sure that they are at the right temperature. Research how to store foods to make them last longer. For example, onions can be stored in pantyhose, and mushrooms can be stored in a paper bag. Reorganize your fridge and pantry so you can see all the food. And also, keep a log of the foods that you end up throwing out. There are options also for managing our budget with the phones. So for example, if everybody in your household has a cell phone, do you need a landline? Is it possible to change to a prepaid phone? Make sure that you research your phones on the internet. You can possibly combine data plans with a family. See about reducing your data plan. Are you using all of your current data? If need be, downgrade your phone. We have two web locations that you can see. One is called Lifeline, which provides discounts on the phone and internet based on your income. And the other website is called SafeLink, which does provide discounts on your phone bills based on your income. We can also see about managing our budget with our cable and internet. So first, evaluate your cable needs. Determine the need for cable. Is it possible to cut back to basic or free antenna TV? Have you tried using the free internet stations? Have you tried watching programs on the station's website or apps? Have you called your provider and asked them for help or for a reduction in price versus canceling? And of course, consider the streaming options of Amazon Prime, Hulu, Netflix, Peacock, and the others that are available. In considering the streaming options, be aware some may have monthly fees that are associated with them. In continuing with our cable and internet options for budgeting, evaluate your internet needs. Is it possible to bundle your cable and internet to save money? Is it cheaper to use the internet on your phone or through a Wi-Fi connection at home? Can you downsize the speed or possibly have less usage? Can you utilize Work One, your local public library, or any other source to meet your internet needs? We can also look at transportation as a way of managing our budget. In regards to insurance, is it possible to raise the deductible? Do you shop the different agencies and evaluate their policies? Can you possibly have just liability only? Is it possible to bundle your insurance with other policies? If your car is in storage, let the provider know, as it could be cheaper. If you're driving less and working remotely more, let your provider know, as again, it might have a cheaper cost to it. We can look at our expenses and gasoline usage with transportation as well. When we're out running errands, combine our tasks just into one trip. Utilize those gas station reward programs. Possibly even buy parts for yourself rather than the repair shop buying them. And also look for specials when it comes to oil change, or possibly even changing that oil yourself. When it comes to purchasing those license plates, veterans, there may be a discount available. Those healthcare, senior citizen, and first responders, there is also possible discounts available there as well. Be sure to ask. Many times, paying for 2 years at once will save you some money. If need be, take advantage of the public transportation. The cities of Marion and Fort Wayne have very reliable bus systems. And if all else fails, you can walk, possibly ride a bike, skateboard, carpool, or if you have a moped or a motorcycle, those are options as well. We can also manage our budget within the purchasing of clothing. We can visit Goodwill or the Salvation Army as they have sales. We can visit yard sales. You can consider buying end of season sales for the next year. Local churches and neighborhood clothing centers are also options. We can visit consignment shops. In Fort Wayne, we have the Career Closet, Blue Jacket, and Dress for Success. Career Closet is a referral only, and you will need an appointment. And the Career Closet is located in Huntertown, whereas Blue Jacket and Dress for Success is located in Fort Wayne. We can also consider online purchasing, looking for those sales, as well as keeping our eye out for those annual and semi-annual buy one, get one free sales. We can also manage our budget when it comes to healthcare costs. You can visit one of the two websites that are listed here in our first bullet point, healthcare.gov or in.gov/FSSA/HIP. We can consider using a clinic instead of the hospital for non-emergencies. Research the cost of tests and procedures. There is usually a significant discount if you pay at the time of the service. Consider using a health savings account. Do you qualify for Medicare or Medicaid? If you're a veteran, are you eligible to use the VA hospital? And always take advantage of free or reduced rate health fares and take advantage of free preventative maintenance programs. When it comes to prescriptions and pharmaceuticals, ask your doctor if they have any free samples. Also, search for discount programs. They can come in the form of mail orders, online coupons, or even 90-day supplies. But make sure that you are comparing the prices, as not all pharmacies charge the same. We can also manage our budget when it comes to beauty and home. We can visit cosmetology and barber schools for lower rates. We can see about doing our hair and nails at home. We can ask local stores if they give cash discounts. Ask if they do price matching. Before you buy, ask if they know if the item will be on sale anytime soon. Always check weekly ads for sales and coupons. If buying online, ensure you are comparing the shipping and handling prices. Check online for garage sales. And always, if possible, recycle and reuse the items. There's even options for managing our budget when it comes to childcare. We want to reevaluate the need for childcare. Can we reduce the number of hours that are being used? Can we ask for help from family and friends? Research those local programs like Early Childhood Alliance and Brightpoint. Is it possible to rotate childcare with trusted friends and family? Or you can ask your current provider if they have any scholarships or other discount programs available. We can even manage our budget when it comes to entertainment. So when we are dining out, do we visit those restaurants where kids eat free? Do we use coupons that are available? Are we looking for those specials? When it comes to movies, can you go to a matinee rather than an evening show? Do you have a Groupon that can be used? Possibly even take advantage of reward clubs. If we're looking for rentals of movies or games, our local public library is an excellent resource. Could we possibly exchange movies and games with friends? Could we do a cheap rental from a Redbox or visit a video store? And there's always the option of Netflix. When it comes to books, again, your local public library is an excellent resource. Or is it possible to have some free downloads? Take advantage of those free classes that are offered at your public library, or if you find some that are online, as well as those home improvement stores and the craft and art stores. When it comes to taking vacations, consider the low-cost vacations, such as a one-tank trip. Is it possible to go visit a local park? Can you go to the local zoos, museums, or art galleries? The splash pads are a wonderful break from the hot days. And also take advantage of those free community concerts and movie nights. As we are considering our budget, we want to make sure that we are aware of those small fees as they do add up. So if we travel, those airline booking fees and luggage fees, is it possible to be cheaper to call rather than booking online? Is it cheaper to prepay for baggage? We need to be aware of gift card fees, event ticket fees. Sometimes it may be cheaper to pay in person rather than ordering online. We want to avoid late fees. That credit card payment protection insurance can be a small fee that adds up. Automatic car washing is a small fee that can add up. And then we have those binge purchases of candy bars and pop. And also the purchasing of books, newspapers, and magazines. If you like to read, I highly encourage you visit your local public library as those options are available there. Here's a list of some helpful resources. So if you're in need of immediate assistance, visit your local food pantry. If you need to visit the food stamp office, call this number, 1-800-403-0864. You can also visit a shelter if you're in need. Contact your town trustees or your Chamber of Commerce. They can guide you in finding helpful resources. Visit the free clinics Also, there are WIC offices, which is Women, Infant, and Children. Above all else, be aware, contact 211. It is an excellent resource for finding more help. As we are looking at budgeting, we don't want to forget about our retirement. So definitely start a retirement account. Research the benefits of each type of account, such as the IRA versus a 401k. Within your research, make sure that your plans have great tax benefits. And contact your employer to see if they have any sort of matching contribution. Some things to remember as presented within this workshop. Spend less than you earn. Understand the difference between a need and a want. Avoid competing with others and be happy with what you have. Strive to pay off all your debts. Prioritize your healthcare coverage. Aim to build a 3-month emergency fund. Avoid paying full price when you don't have to. And above all else, create the budget and stay with the budget. It will work. Do not give up. Make sure that we use coupons and check those weekly specials. Ask for discounts if you're military, if you're a senior citizen, if you're a first responder, healthcare workers, teachers. Ask for those discounts. Ask about a cash discount if paying all at once. Ask when items will go on sale or when is the best time to buy that particular item. If possible, trade services with others. Here is a list of the resources that were used in the creation of this presentation. We have IndianaCareerConnect.com, MoneyTalksNews.com, ResponsibleLending.org, Money.HowStuffWorks.com, personalfinance.duke.edu, powerpay.org, daveramsey.com, in.gov/visit Indiana, and of course, BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics.gov. So thank you for participating within our workshop today. We have other workshops available: identifying your skills, get a job, keep a job, resume development, and interviewing with confidence. Thank you for attending today's workshop. Nancy?
Thank you, Tom. We did actually have a couple people join us. So if anybody did have questions, please use the chat function and we'll be able to get to those in just a few moments. Tom mentioned the library is a great resource to save money. We have lots of things from Hoopla for movie streaming, Freegal for music downloading, just lots of free entertainment and also research resources. And one of those is called Weiss Ratings. They actually have a lot of information on Medigap as well as on ratings for banks and insurance. They also have a financial literacy section on their website, which you can link to from the Allen County Public Library website. And one of those is this PDF called How to Make and Stick to a Budget, which we've just been talking about. It's a nice thin book, so I think you'd enjoy that if you enjoyed this program and learning about saving money. The other thing that I'll mention about where to find that is that it's under research on the library website and then research and databases. And there's stuff there, including consumer reports as well. Just lots of information you can get to for free. So if there's no questions, and let me just check real quick. It looks like nobody has any questions. I just want to thank you for participating and joining us today. Work One Northeast and ACPL will be offering a virtual resume critique program in May. That will be offered on Thursday, May 20th at 2, and then Tuesday, May 25th at 10 a.m. And you can register for either of those on our events calendar at www.acpl.org. www.acpl.info. The Allen County Public Library also has a YouTube page where these programs are recorded, so you can watch them at any time. That's on the bottom of our website. Just click on the YouTube link to find those. So if you don't have any more questions, we'll say goodbye, and you can always email us at ask@acpl.info if you think of something later. Thank you again, Tom.
Thank you, Nancy.
Have a great day.
You too.